Bufford. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Reynolds.
Oh, come on, you guys. This is what he looks like. You know, whenever you're on television, people expect that you are going to be the same as you always are. But when you're on radio, they don't know what you look like. You're in theater of the mind. People think you look a certain way in their heads. And then when you go on television after radio, it kind of like ruins the illusion. And I'm doing a show here for the first time in a long time on television, although I've done a few of these things, but not on NBC in New York. And the NBC Nonstop people want me to actually be clean about the show. Of course, you know, we're over the air and we're also on cable, so we're doing both. When you're over the air, you kind of like you have to be careful. Cable, you can be a little bit more risque, but not too much. You know, I mean, it's offensive sometimes to have a late night show where there's an awful lot of swearing going on, although even if you have the kids in bed, you have a little bit of leeway. Now, this particular program is picking up where I left off when I was unemployed. Now, you know, the employment for an older guy is kind of rough in this country, and I have found another job. Can you imagine that? So, as far as I'm concerned, the economy's picking up. You know, I mean, I got myself a gig and a regular job for as long as I can stay here. This is like a 30-year job, right? Isn't this one of those things where you have a long shelf life? I don't think so. But you know, when we left the radio at WR, I was on every night for about 14 years, I think it was. And we're on the air between midnight and 5 in the morning. And I used to take phone calls till about 3 in the morning when you would wear down. And the phone calls started to be a little bit more disruptive. People were drunk or just getting in, or I didn't know where they were. They were a little bit crazy. And I stopped taking the phone calls from people who were disgruntled about the fan. You know, if the Yankees lost, that would be the thing. And we were in a sports station. Now, I don't take any phone calls here, and this is not a phone-in show. It's not a political show. I'm not a left or a right. I actually am a political atheist, you know. I mean, as far as my religion is concerned. And when we left the show before, in April, I think it was, is that when I was? Yeah. I've been out of work since April. It's been a long time. So when we left the show in April, I had a cake given me because I used to kill time at 3 in the morning with a club I started called the Royal Order of the Night People. And what I did on that club was I put on a cape, which on radio is a lot easier than it is on television. I'd actually have to wear the gear here. And I was self-announced or pronounced as the exalted leader of the Royal Order of the Night People, the world's most exclusive organization. So I started this club and I had people join in, and it was a good way to kill about an hour every morning at 3 in the morning or 4. And I was given on the last show this cake, which, like with any good wedding, I froze it. And I kept it in my freezer at home, and I saved it for the time that I would get work. So we brought the cake out here. I mean, you know, if I lift this plastic thing off of here, you probably will see it unfold a little. But this is the Royal Order of the Night People cake with my cape, and I was the exalted leader. The cake is now done. You guys want to eat this thing? I don't think we're going to get any volunteers for this. It's going to go on eBay. Actually, this is what we should have had all the time that I was out of work at home, because we didn't have any food. Now, you know, when you're unemployed, it's kind of different. You feel like you got no self-esteem or low self-esteem. And I know there are a lot of people who are watching right now who are out of work and they're looking for jobs. And I want to report that when I was at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas about 2 weeks ago, I met the chairman of the board of General Electric. And he was very strikingly powerful in his speech. It was a keynote address. I liked him very much. And when I ran into him in the parking lot a little later on with his bodyguard and his assistants, I stopped him and I told him how impressed I was with him and what a great message he had. And I said, so when I get on the air, which I'm going to do every night from Times Square, we're going to be on NBC, which is owned by General Electric, and I'm going to be on your station, whoever owns it, whether it's Cablevision, Universal, or whoever's got their hands in the fire here. This is going to be the message we're going to do every night. So today I turned the TV on, and what do I see? The chairman of GE with the president of the United States. So here we are, having those two guys together, two powerhouses, where industry meets government. And I think for some reason that they ought to be a little bit separated, or I don't think we should be giving loans to people. But that's politics. And I don't want to be getting into too much of that stuff, especially since I'm supposed to have a little bit of a comedy show. A lot of comedy coming up here because we're going to bring Pat Cooper out, who builds his comedy on belly aching. And I wanted to make a mention of something that probably will get censored before we even get this on the air, so I'm going to have to say it. I'll move my lips with it. But I want to do what Oprah does, if I can possibly get away with it. That's what I want to do. That's my entire platform. I want to do what Oprah does. And here's the part where they're going to edit. I want to sleep with Gail. They're going to edit that. You know that's not going to make the air. They're going to throw that out because immediately I'll lose the job, right? You better throw it out. But we're going to bring Pat Cooper out here in just a minute. And the Joey Reynolds All Night Live show is at All Night Live with Joey Reynolds. I think I get second billing here. So Pat Cooper's on his way in. He's very old and can't hear, and he's cranky. Plus, we don't have any food on the show, so he's going to be really cranky. And we'll be out in just a minute with Pat. Hold on there.
On New York Nonstop, sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a four-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm my grandpa.
Yeah, I'm a grandma.
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is
place is
fantastic. I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
A hostile takeover of the show, but of your head. This is a guy who will hold your head under house arrest. Pat Cooper's here tonight, and let's bring him out here. We haven't seen him in a long time. He's hungry and cranky and all ready to do something to me. Pat, come on out here. Pat, does anybody, you know that he can't hear? You have to yell in both of his ears here. Bring him in here. Now, Pat, the last time I saw him, he was doing a routine over at the PAC Center and standing up with Joan Rivers, of course, who Pat loves. Come on, sit over here, Pat.
Joey!
Join in here.
Congratulations, my friend.
How are you?
You finally got a TV show at 7 in the morning.
Are you cranky?
God bless. Nice to see you. Congratulations. I really mean that, Joe. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. and there's going to be a lot of discussion. Letterman's already sweating. Jay Leno said he wants to go back at 10 o'clock. And Conan O'Brien said, I can't stand it in Memphis. He says, you're not in Memphis. Where am I? You're on color radio. And that's it. What a wonderful thing. I'm so happy for you.
It's great. We got big signs in here anyway. Got my name up there.
No, it took a little time. I mean, you've been on radio for, what, 40 years?
No, 14.
All right, so all right. Well, you had to make a liar out of me on your show. But that's good. That's good. And now you're going to be on at 12 to 2. So it's called the Zombie Hour.
That's right.
But this is where you made the radio at that time, and you were on 5, 6, 7 hours, and it became successful. And then the people with the money said, what are we going to do to Joey now that he's no longer on radio? And there was a meeting, and no one came up with an answer. Then they called me to see my input. I says, TV, a night show where people who can't sleep, that can listen to this man, and the guests that he brings on is completely different than Letterman and Leno and all these other nice men. You had guests here that never became famous because that wasn't what it was about. Right. They contributed to your 5, 6 hour show, and that's where we are.
Well, what happened with the mob? They arrested 100 guys the other day.
What? They should arrest the whole world. Every Italian will get arrested. If they see you eating a cannoli, you're in trouble. Why don't the Italian men understand it's over? There's no more. What are they trying to do? Now, you must understand, Joe, and I don't lie to you, nobody wants to be the leader of the mafia, so they came to me. I says, why me? They said, no one would believe that you could be the leader of the mafia. Now, what I did do, I started an organization many years ago called the Mothers and Fathers Italian Association, the Mafia, and I was going to open a restaurant, and I got a phone call. You can't do that. Now, let me tell you who called me. One of the gorillas calls me and says, we own that word, you're going to have to pay us money. I got to pay you money. I'm putting dignity to mafia. Mothers and Fathers Italian Association, you banana. They says, you understand? We got to get it tied. And then we want guys in the studio. What studio? I didn't open yet. Now, where are they now? They're in prison, and I won't mention names. A buddy of mine wrote me and said, if I can help them elevate the tuna fish. I'm serious. I said, what? They want the Italian tuna fish. Tuna. You can't get that in prison. You get whatever fish is left over in the ocean. That's what you get. But they don't capisce.
Right.
But, if you ask them, would you do it over again? They would say, yeah. Because that's what they like to do. And it's unfortunate because we have a great culture that we don't talk about enough. And it's wonderful, and the food and the chefs and all this one, the opera and all that. Such a wonderful thing.
But you wanted to brand the mafia. You want to give that a brand.
Well, it was going to be Mothers and Fathers Italian Association.
But that's like a negative thing.
What's the difference? It wasn't going to happen. You know me, they don't believe me anyway. If I said I met Jesus 2 days ago, they go, yeah. Meanwhile, if he was sitting on my lap, they still wouldn't believe it because they want to. They don't want to believe it because they know I would only be the one to say it because it's the truth.
Do you think the public is a little fickle?
There's no public out there with common sense. If there was common sense, you would be where Regis Philbin is sitting. In fact, I just got word you may be there. You may replace Regis. And Kathy said if Joe gets it, she's coming back.
I see.
And look at this. There's a fire already across the street. Your opening show.
That's only a fire truck.
No, what's the difference? You'd think they're listening to this at 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, this is going to be a big hit because you're on it. See,
Anything
people want to
do,
see you. They want to see you.
Listen to me, Joe. I don't have to stroke you. You've been here, you're not going anywhere, even if you wanted to. I would love to hear you say, well, I've had enough, I quit. And the reason I say it is because I've been telling people now I would rather not do stand-up anymore.
Right.
They say, why? Well, my minutes are counting. I'm going to be 82 years old. I don't want to do it. Well, what do you mean? I says, I'd rather not do it no more. What do you mean? I want to die. Do you mind if I want to die? I want to die. Is that what you mean? I want to quit. Regis Philbin quits. Everybody's crying. I quit. They said you should have quit earlier. And I love Regis.
I want to stop you for a minute because when you were at the PAC Center, you got up and you said that they were giving you $10,000.
Where was this again?
The PAC Center in New Jersey.
Oh.
You got up and you said, I guess it was people were paying $80. You said, I'm not worth 80, I'm only worth 40 or something like that. But then you said they were giving you 10 grand.
Right.
And the promoter of the show said when you got to the door, it's really good that you're doing this $8,000 engagement. Right?
I went down to that. I owed them $300. Because that's funny. Because the people, you know, and mostly women. I wonder what Joan Rivers is getting. I wonder what Pat Cooper's getting. So I turn around and tell them exactly. Now, I was in Florida, and I worked one of the condos, and 90% of them, you know, I'm not struck with the Jewish culture, wonderful people. But I opened a can of worms when I said, I guess you want to know what I'm making here. I said, I'm making $15,000. They wouldn't give $15,000 to Israel. You understand? So I hear this in the audience. I go, I spoke to my manager. I said, Jay, he said, Pat, you're getting 10. And I says, well, all right, 10's not bad. Why should you throw away 10? And I'm hearing in the audience, I went down to 5,000. Then I went down to 2,500. Finally, I said, I'm going to pay this place 300. And the woman says, now he's worth it. So, not knowing that what I'm doing is comedy.
Yeah.
You know, but they were one of the great audiences. And but some of the things that I hit, they look at me and they go, you know, it's amazing. He's still here.
Oh, you're great.
No, but
did you happen to see Robert De Niro on the Golden Globes? Did you see that?
I don't look at those things. No disrespect to Robert.
He was very good. And you know, when he was at the Friars, we're not supposed to know he's there.
Oh, I'll tell you that story. I go in and they say, you know, Robert De Niro is here with Jeffrey Ross and Joy Behar. And I said, so what does that mean? So they said, well, you know, they were told no picture, not to annoy him. I said, really? I don't say nothing. So I get up and I go over. Hi, Joe. Hey, Bobby, how are you? Nice. Hello, Jeffrey. And we're honoring Mickey Freeman's night.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. Now I'm going to go on. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Cooper. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, before I say another word, a certain man is in this room that said you couldn't take pictures. Robert De Niro, get up and take pictures. Get that guy. Take those pictures. Who does he think he is coming to the Friars? Go get Robert De Niro. The place is going. He almost went snowblind. He's standing there going, who does this guy think he is? Take more pictures. Finish with your pictures. All right, now I got to do my thing. So I finish and I walk over and I'm passing him. And he goes, how do you do it? Really good. He goes, how do you do that? I go, it's called talent. That's how I do it. I said, and I walk right out the door. Because people get scared of people. Howard Stern, they look at Howard Stern, they go, oh, like he walks on water. He tried in the bathtub, he fell. None of us or anyone, and with all due respect with the great stars that we've lived through, the Sinatras and the Comos and the beautiful greats and the Jack Bennys and all, these people were human, they died. We all gonna die. Why not be nice before we die and do something nice, like try to get along, which is very dangerous. We just had the Chinese premiere. Did you read what was said? Nothing. Obama didn't know what he was saying. The interpreter didn't know what Mo Fan Poon, whatever the poor guy's name is. Then in the paper it goes, you know, the tiger eats the dove. All of a sudden, my president is a dove. Who the hell said that? He's not even a bird. How can he be a dove? And thinking about birds, I was walking, I swear, down 6th Avenue. My auto got in and boom, a pigeon hit me in the head, and I thought it was a brick. And like when I'm missing a beat, hits me, bounces off my head, and goes down to eat. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, I can see the headline, Pat Cooper killed by a pigeon. I'm going, I don't want to die that way. Just say he died, you know, but this is what happens. And this is why I try to explain to people, you know, listen, I've worked with everybody, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so happy that I worked with the greatest. And if you read my book, most of them were nice, but some of them were not nice, and I went on to say it. And everybody says, you know, you're hurting your career. I'm going to be 82. I'm hurting my career? I didn't hurt my career when I was 40, 50. I'm going to hurt my career. He's on his way out. They wish that they want you out of the way because I had not only become talented, now I'm a nuisance. And this is why Regis Philbin probably quit. Somebody said, Regis, no disrespect, when are you going to go home? You know, because nobody would say that to him. You know, I know why he went home. He started to hear at night, Regis, is that you, Regis? Regis, is that you? You know, and you start, because I hear it. You know, I get up 2 o'clock every morning to see if I'm alive, just to make sure. Because I don't want to die in bed like that. I like to die, I would like to die here, get a heart attack here and say, he went out with the greatest.
Well, I'm going to make your night. Turn around, you're going to see young people taking your picture. How about that? These are young people. No, and
they're lonely, they're cold. The hell, you kidding me? It's freezing out there.
They're fans.
Not taking my picture.
Well, they're walking away now.
Now, listen, I have come to the point that kids, young adults, may not know my flow, but they're told I'm an icon. I said, I'm an icon. So these kids go, let me look in the book. What's an icon? In other words, he's still here. And I look at them and they say, Mr. Cooper, you know, my father told me and my uncles told me, and what do you do? And I says, well, it's my kind of humor is not for you. And I said, but they said, no, but you were on Howard Stern. I said, okay, that's good. You know, he opened an audience for me also. Yeah. And some of the people that I did him a lot of good also. He did me a lot of good. And now he's signed for another five more years, which is fine. And I said it, not once, and I'm going to say it again. Hey, you're not Howard Stern no more. That day is over. You are now another man. You have went to the Hamptons. The Hamptons. He went to the Hamptons. And I said, Joy Behar went to the Hamptons. Where'd you go, John? I'm at the Hamptons. I'm at the Hamptons. Explain to me why, for Mother of God, anyone he is that goes to the Hamptons, why you go to the Hamptons. I've been to the Hamptons when nobody would go there. I'll tell you, I bet it was the Seagulls wouldn't go there. All of a sudden, you know, Billy Joel went there, and he did a little concert, and all of a sudden, whoa, 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 everything came there, and they went to the Hamptons. You know, and I'm saying, where you going? Go on vacation to some of the Hamptons. Are you as stupid? There's nothing wrong with Coney Island. There's nothing wrong with the Jersey Shore. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, why? So Howard Stern built a $20 million house, and I said, Howard, trust me, not by the ocean. Hey, so what do you mean? My architect. Screw your architect. Listen to me. You know New Orleans? It's under the water. Next is the Hamptons, the Hamptons, the Hamptons. After the Hamptons, Coney Island, Coney Island. Go 20 miles away from the Hamptons. Go near a subway so you can get out of town right away. No. Now he's with very good friends with Chevy Chase. Yeah. And him and Chevy Chase. Chevy wanted to kill him. I did the same show. How can you ever wake me up in California? I'll tear your tongue out, put it through your nose, and I'm on your man, I'm Marty, I'll stab you. So he invites this man to his wedding. Okay, now him and Chevy are friends. Why? Because you have to be friends with Chevy Chase because you're in the Hamptons. You can't be friends with Pat Cooper because I'm not in that clique. See, I'm not in that clique. So what happens, he lost being Howard Stern. Now he's Howard Stern. Don't mean nothing. Sirius Radio is not going to be any better. You're not going to be any greater. You were the only one getting a number out there. Nobody else was getting a number. So they got to sign you. But I knew when you had 20 million people on radio, I don't think you got 4 or 5 million people. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what happens, they're paying you more money to move to the Hamptons, and they're losing their shirt. This is the future of show business. I'm a halfway genius of myself, and they don't want to buy me. They don't want me on the Lettermans, etc. Now with the Regis Feldman, I should take over now at my 82.
You're on this show. This show is the new wave. You know, older people on television are going to do very well right now because we need to form community. You need the older and the new.
Well, you've always said that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounded good.
Well, we're going to have both demographics. You'll have the younger and the older.
Yeah.
People who are awake and people who want to be awake, and those who are alert and those who are alive. You know, you want to put the light on. They're going to see your talent on this show, and you're going to have another career, and you're going to curse me out at 90.
I'm not. It's not even that. You know, the greatest thing is to tell people you're on your way out. Not angry.
But you're not on the way out.
Yes, I am. Would you mind? I'm on my way out of here one day. So anyway, I say to people, not the respect. I had a nice career. I wrote a hell of a book. Oh, my pride.
Oh, yeah, what's it called?
Wrote a hell of a book. So they say, even my granddaughter says, you know, Papa went. I said, well, I think I'm going to retire. And she says to me, well, what are you going to do? I said, clean fish. What am I going to do? I got to answer to you? Then people say, what will you do? In fact, they offer me a job, and I said, I'd rather not do it. I don't do stand-up no more. Pat, don't do this. The people are asking for you. Well, I don't want, well, you don't like the people? Now it becomes that.
Yeah.
That's all right, I'll do that job. They said, you know, how much you want? I says, give me whatever, get to a point, give me whatever you want. It's not even the money no more. Just I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll give you the money, let me stay home. And it's like anger that I'm still here, that most of the so-called names and the big stars on television, I'm a nuisance for some reason. I've come to that conclusion. The reason I haven't been on Letterman 10, 12 years, or Regis, well, I know Gelman never liked me, and I don't know why. I'm a talent. What is the difference if you like me and don't like me? I get on the show, I make the people, they say he's interesting, they don't want you because they're waiting for me to go away. Do you know how many people are dead? I'm still here.
Well, you're on a show that's relevant. And Robert De Niro, I started to tell you earlier, was on the Golden Globe Awards the other night. And I think he was, for the first time, entertaining. And he was funny, he was relevant, as you always are, and always based on some information, of fact. He was that way, and I think he opened up because of you. I mean, I've seen him through the years at the Friars, and he wasn't really ever that open until recently. And when he was there, he was a smash. But everything he said was because he was forward. And
I treat him like he's a human being. He's not Robert De Niro, the Godfather or something like that.
But he learned from you.
I don't know if he learned from me.
Well, he watched you, and he put you in and analyzed this, put you in some
Yes,
film.
but when I was in Analyze This, I had never met him before. I went over to him and said, Bobby, listen to me. Don't overdo it. You understand? My name is, and I became a friend, but he was a little bit back, and everybody in the set was going, was he talking to Robert De Niro that way? Why? If I could talk to my mother that way, I shouldn't talk to Robert De Niro. And it was, and you know something? And I told this to my wife, God love her, I did 2 movies with him, and I told my wife I will never do another movie with him again because they said, this guy, I don't like the way he's around. I made everybody, and when we were waiting our turn to do our lines, I entertained for hours and telling stories and laughing. I had Bobby De Niro laughing, and I had Rosenthal, and she's laughing, says, Pat, you're a delight, and pop. Never. The Fockers, nobody called me, whoever the hell they know. No, nobody called me. And I told my wife, goes, I can't believe it. Shh, it's over. They don't want me around. Why? They don't want me around because me not impressed. I'm not impressed. Look who I'm working with. I mean, Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole, I kissed and hugged them to be in, and they were nice people, and De Niro was nice, and some were not nice. And those who were not nice, I opened my mouth and told them, I'm a human being. I'm not your opening act. Don't put me in that category. I'm part of a show. Now, when an entertainer of note would try to tell me what to do, I says, I am not going to listen to you unless you're paying me. Are you paying me? Well, I'm the headliner. Are you paying me? Well, I'm the headliner. Are you paying me? Then shut up, because you're not going to do this to me. Otherwise, if you would have been nice and says, Pat, could you just do 25 with it? You don't even have to tell me I'm a pro. I know when to get off the floor.
How much do we have to pay you now?
Me? I'll take anything. I'm here. Look at this.
Very expensive.
Look at the money
set.
I'm getting on this thing.
We got to pay for this lights here.
You deserve it. This is going to be a hit, and I'm the first guest. I can't believe
and
this.
There's a little campaign to get Lisa Lampanelli as host of Saturday Night Live.
Did they get her?
No, they're starting a grassroots campaign, write-in.
Well, that's okay. Let her go on. Lisa Lampanelli. Oh, I got to tell you this. Or maybe you don't know this. She gave me her book, and it said to my friend Pat, my inspiration. And I said, gee, that's so nice, Lisa, and I hugged her. So I'm reading her book, and she's talking about her first time with the Jerry Lewis roast. She mentioned everybody on the dais except me, and I closed the roast and killed the audience. So now I get my book out, and she leaves a message. You tell Pat to leave me a book. And I wrote down, Pat Cooper, your inspiration. How come you never mentioned me? I was on the thing. How come when did you bring Ryan? Who do you think? Well, I went nuts. I haven't heard from her because I said, this book is about dignity, which you don't have, and she don't, because she's forgotten that she's still a little puppy. She's not full grown. So she's doing a couple of roasts here and there. How often are you going to talk about oral sex? When do you start saying something that people says, wow, I could listen to that all day long? They don't know. They don't know. So now you're making big dollars. All of a sudden, the big dollars ain't happening. Now it's 9 writers. Say, not 3. That's going to be 25 writers.
Can you tell I don't have any?
Huh? You don't need writers, you know why? It's just your personality.
Oh, you're too kind.
No, I'm not kind. But listen to me. You go to Lamella's, without you there, nobody comes. When you come there, it's a free-for-all. They love you there.
Pat Cooper, we'll be right back.
Steve, I can't get the files on the Sandoz case to print. Printers are down again.
Steve, the wireless network and all the servers are completely down on the 4th floor.
That's it. Denise, I'm done with that company. Call ASAP NetSource. Also, tell them we need an on-site tech for some installs we got going on next week.
Dad, the printer isn't working again, and I had to hand in the support tomorrow morning.
And the internet's down again.
And we're out of toner, too.
I know just who to call.
Let ASAP NetSource be your only source for your office and home.
Picture wonderful guests, terrific music, and comics that are really funny, and a host that's okay. That's me, Joey Reynolds, on NBC's New York Nonstop, and what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC, desktops, and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
My opinion, there's only a couple of comics who are still great. Pat Cooper is one of them, of course. And I love Jackie Mason just personally. I think these are the guys who are the real comics of the holdover of the generation when you had to really have your chops. There's a couple of new ones too who are real good. I like many people, but I wanted to cite that because they're two great treasures. And Pat is here with us tonight. It's always wonderful to have him around because he's just funny. I want to tell you something. I did the first satellite show, which is called Satellite Live in 1977 out of Hollywood. And every Sunday for a couple hours from Hollywood, California, I did this satellite show, which is now, of course, still not making money. It didn't make money back then. Satellite, for some reason, is cursed. But we did something on the first anniversary that was very special. I did the show from Bob Hope's house in Toluca Lake. He had a couple houses. One was in Palm Springs. The other was in Toluca Lake. And in Toluca Lake, I had a hard time with Bob. First, I did 1 hour with his writers, who were very good, and they're his usual writers. And I always thought Bob read everything and was a comic by writing. But it's not true, because he also is very funny personally to talk to. So in the next hour, I talked to Bob, and he had a hearing aid. But I didn't know that. So I'm talking to him, and he's not hearing me. And I'm saying things. He's not answering whatever I'm asking him. I thought it was just me. And when the break came, I was wondering what was going on, and someone said to me, well, you know, Bob's not a hearing aid. He was manager at the time. He says, Bob's got the hearing aid. He had the old-fashioned kind, which is down here in the chest. So when we came back from the break, I got on my knees, and Bob says, what the hell are you doing down there? You know, he thought I was worshiping him or something erotic. But it was a wonderful moment, and I don't have it on tape, on video, because it was a radio show. But, you know, I would love to tell you that Pat Cooper hears everything I say. I don't think Pat has heard anything in years, but there is something that I heard Pat say, which I want to remind everybody of, and I would like him to elaborate on it a little bit before we talk about your book and your appearance at the 92nd Street Y, which is on tomorrow night. You're going to be there, and Colin Quinn is going to introduce you.
Colin Quinn.
Colin Quinn.
Wonderful man.
And he's going to interview you, right?
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this. When I saw you work the last time professionally, you got up and you said that you don't want to do this anymore. You're too old. You don't like being old. You don't care what you look like anymore. And you're just 80 years old and you don't care anymore. And you're not going to be like Joan Rivers.
No, absolutely.
You're not getting a facelift.
Did you hear about it today?
No.
She looked in the mirror and says, what are you doing in my hotel room? I mean, this is what's going on. She's now got a reality show. She doesn't understand, with all due respect, it's over. How many times you going to schlep? And she's a talented lady, and it's enough. She's suddenly become a nudge. And her daughter's becoming a nudge with her. Now she's supposed to be moving in with her daughter. Her daughter and her cannot live together. Maybe for television. The dog can't live with Joan Rivers. She had a Yorkie that had a nervous breakdown. They thought there was something wrong with the Yorkie physical. The dog went nuts. You know, how many times can you put a dog in a plane, dog in a restaurant, dog in a bag? She walk around with a dog in a bag. Now, can you imagine living your life in a bag with her, looking at that face? Think about it. Now, when they roasted her, nobody called me because she says, no, you don't want me on the roast with her because she's afraid, because she likes only names that she, big names, or, like the comedy channel calls her and she's big. Like all of a sudden, I'm not in show business, I'm not funny, and I look at this and I say, what a sad people. What sadness that this woman's not a happy camper. No. So I'm watching a show the other night on one of the home boxes or something, and she's disappointed because people don't recognize her as an actress. I saw her in Broadway, on Broadway. She's not an actress. She's a comedian, period. And she's a schlepper. She walks up and down the red carpet, and that's what she does. Now she went to England, and she was going to bring this play here, and she goes, well, they're not going to like me. She knew beforehand they weren't going to like her. Now she said it was a big hit in England. Move to England. Where's your ego? It's over. It's no longer around. Enjoy your days. You're getting old. You got a nice grandson. Your daughter now, she's moved in. She's got a guy moving in with her. Your daughter's your boss. She ain't listening to you no more. And they don't understand it. I'm at least enjoying. It's, you say, Pat, what's going on? As any day, it's over.
You know who we're going to get to roast you?
Who?
Batman.
Who?
Batman.
Batman?
He's right behind you, right up there.
Well, there you go. Where's Robin? He probably went on a date.
I got to bring Al Wunsch out here. He's a historian, and he reads everything. And your book, which is Pat Cooper, How Dare You Say, How Dare Me?
How dare you say, how dare me, right.
Yeah. Now that book, which is a bestseller, you've gone through the first printing of it already.
Yeah.
And it's a hardcover.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to make money on it, actually.
No. No,
Yeah.
no. Let me explain to you why. I mean, you have to go to commercial.
Bring Al out here. Bring Al Wunsch out here because Al's read the book. Come on, Al.
Joe, you know me a long time. I didn't do it. I didn't get it in advance. I didn't ask for it because every major company turned me down. This little company says, okay, and look at the product they put out. I put out a good product. I got Steve Garman and Herschel with that. I gave them the material, and they built a house for me, which was wonderful. So we did it together, and it's going to, I tell you something, I've done a lot of great things. This, to me, I nailed it. I think it's the best show business story you can listen to. I mean, read. And if not, there's something wrong. And I read a lot of great books,
Sure.
But this one has a flow. You can hear my voice jumping out of the pages. And people say, well, he's angry. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed in a lot of things. And the only way I can express myself is the way I was raised. When I was raised at a table, we all yelled, pass the macaroni. Where's the bread? Where's the bread? What happened? What was that? I thought we were having chicken tonight. What time? You know, that's what. And we always yelled. Went to church. Father, yes, I want to sin. I did something wrong. You know, I'm in the confessional. And he goes, Sabat, what's the matter? Well, I did something wrong. I think I cursed Thursday, and I'm not sure. I was making up sins because I wanted to, you know, like I was going to win a big prize to tell sins. And he goes, so take it easy about Chicago. Well, I don't want to do it. And then I remember what I did. I stepped on a line. You're not supposed to step on a line of the concrete. And he goes, what are you talking about on the line? He says, I said, well, Jesus loved me. He goes, I don't know. You got me confused. Who are you talking to? So. You know, and he goes, how come you ain't got a cross around your neck? I got an infection from the cross I had. It was nice, but it was a cheap cross, and I had a hole here almost. He goes, so Jesus Christ won't give you the hole there. It wasn't Jesus Christ, it was the metal. He goes, I'm going to tell your father. Oh, I said. So that's why we yell.
Let's bring Al out here. Al, why don't you come on in here? Al read your book, and you know, he reads everything. He's got a big library at his home.
He's a wonderful gentleman.
In New Jersey.
I think he just fell asleep.
And he's a lawyer.
He's
and
a
also
great
friends
lawyer.
with Charlie Callis. Best of friends with Charlie Callis. Charlie's in Las Vegas. I just saw him.
I called him when he lost his wife.
Yeah, I just saw him a week ago.
Well, you know, he's a good guy. And Charlie quit. I don't know why he quit. He just took it. Charlie Callis was just a natural.
Great.
And he had a career. I mean, he worked with Fred Astaire. I thought I was I worked with Ginger Rogers. He worked with Fred Astaire and I think Robert Wagner, and it was wonderful. And he's good, you know, but I don't know why he just disappeared. I'm trying to disappear. They keep coming around.
Well, his wife fell.
Yeah.
And
I heard about it.
And she died.
Yeah.
And no one helped her. She had
Why
fallen
would that be? I mean, no one was out that day?
In New York, that would never happen.
Oh, I know.
For as cold as the city's supposed to be, people here...
Well, the city's been closed for a couple of years, I think. I'm not being funny.
No, but Las Vegas is a city where they really are into themselves, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something happened where they didn't help her. So she died. She had a concussion. And Charlie just never got over it because, you know, he was so dedicated to her.
I can understand.
And your wife, she passed away a couple of years ago.
It happened so fast, 6 months, she was gone. I mean, she got cancer. She said, I got cancer. I got to get chemotherapy. And I said, all right, don't worry about it. And I stood with her for 6 months, and it got worse and worse. And I said, I wanted God to take her because this is not what it's about. That woman shouldn't suffer. I mean, nobody should suffer like that. I'm a big supporter of St. Jude, even before she died. I'm saying when I see children like that, I say, well, how dare they tell me God's up there, he's going to do that bothers me, and I'm not a religious guy. We don't want these things to happen, particularly young people who haven't had a life. They can't play ball, can't play ice hockey, just to go out and can't suck a lollipop. Then, you know, when we think we got troubles, no, that's a lot of bull.
Did you write about that? Did you write about
No,
your
that's
wife?
my next book.
You didn't do anything about your wife?
Well, my next book, I'm going to give it a title, right? Born a dog, can't die a cat.
Al, you read Pat's book.
I read your book, and first of all, congratulations on this. This is great. This is wonderful, wonderful.
I don't know. I'll get back to you after the ratings come in.
Well,
you know, you got to have ratings. They want you to have ratings. They want people are used to watching television late night with reruns or things that they don't want anymore at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. This show we want everybody to want. That's a little different goal.
Okay.
You know, and it's on the air for 2 hours, midnight till 2, I guess, so far now on Nonstop New York. And you know, you take it a little easy. I want people to get a little bit relaxed with me and
relax with you. You have him here. How can you be relaxed with that?
Well, this is like the antidote. So what did you find when you were reading about it? What did you find that you didn't know or something that's really provocative?
What I loved about this book, okay, is the fact that this is a man who has a working class ethic, okay? He is a man who, you know, had worked blue-collar jobs, okay, was always working, 3 jobs to, you know, support his family and things along those lines. And his entire life is just an expression of dignity. It's just finding dignity in no matter if you're laying bricks, okay, or you're working Caesar's Palace. There is a dignity that needs to be conveyed to anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter what your job is. And it's that blue-collar ethic that I found to be so, you know, profound, but also throughout the book. And it's that dignity of the common man as well as the man who is uncommon. You know, there's a great story in here about a show he was doing. Okay, he gets booked for a show, and he gets a phone call from George Burns, of all people. George Burns is like, look, my comic, canceled. Can you come in and do this? And he was opening for Tony Martin at the time.
The next show coming.
Right.
I got in there 3 days earlier. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And he was going to be working with Tony Martin, and instead of like doing what would be instinctively the thing to do, which is to say, I'm going to work with George Burns, I'm there. Okay, sure. He said, no, I'm here to work with Tony Martin. I got to speak to Mr. Martin first and clear it with him. And if he has no problem with it, then I'd be happy to do it for you. That is class. Yeah. That is dignity. Okay. That is demonstrating that there is a ethic there. Okay. And that's what this man has. And that's what
George Burns called Tony Martin. He says, I have to. Is it all right? Pat wants me to call you because he's uncomfortable, because he's your comic the next engagement. And I thought that's the proper thing to do. And Tony Martin he says, Pat, do it and enjoy, and then we'll have a nice 2 weeks together. This was up in Reno, and I became very good friends with Tony. And then George Burns, my opening night at the Cope, which was a few months later, not opening night, I think it was my second. He's there ringside. He come over to me, and he said, he's a veteran. I'm looking at him. He goes, Pat, he said, that's such a nice thing. He said, because that's what we need in show business. Just like he was telling me years ago, if someone stole a line from another comic would say, you're doing so-and-so's line. You don't do that. We protected each other. There was a dignity. He says, you're going to go a long way. Coming from a guy like that, I said, well, So I put that in the book. I thought it was good.
And I think that's important. and what's interesting is I see some certain parallels with me, whereas he was a bricklayer, I paved streets. And as bad as he was as a bricklayer.
You're a lawyer.
Well, but when I was a kid, that's what I needed. I needed a job. My dad died when I was 16. So, I all of a sudden, had to be able to make money because my mother was raising kids. So it was important to have income coming in to take care of me so I wouldn't have to be a burden on her. And I was paving streets. And as bad as a bricklayer as he was, that's how bad I was paving streets. One day they gave me an assignment. They said, okay, take care of this street. I was like, all right, it's fine. I had my own crew. I had everybody. I was 17. I had my own crew. I had everybody out there. We paved the whole thing. It was beautiful. I had all the different tools out. It was level. It had the nice break to it and everything. And we get there, and then the boss came over, this guy named Frank Battaglia, and he goes, let me see where are the manholes? I covered all the manhole covers. Whole street had to get ripped up, and we had to take it out.
Sewage.
Yeah, it was not a good situation, but so I can appreciate being bad at doing that kind of labor. But that type of labor prepares you for the next level, and that's where it teaches you dignity, because you know what it is to have to work hard, to have calluses on your hands, to be able to have to do a hard day's work, and it makes everything else that more appreciable when you're, getting older and you're moving forward on different things.
Well, Pat says that his book is about, he was reviewing his own book. He said that it's really about the best show business book that could be written, or that he's written at least. So what do you think? Is this really a show business book, or you're going more for the humanism, which I like?
Right, because you know what, the show business thing is there, of course, because the names are all there, and you've got all the different things that are going forward. You'll see Dean Martin in the book, Jilly, from Jilly's Place, and Frank Sinatra, and you've got the roast that he's done and things along those lines. So you do have that aspect of it, and that part is fascinating, especially for anyone who grew up in the 70s and the 80s, okay? Make Me Laugh, he talks about that. He talks about Bobby Van, who I always enjoyed watching, who died way too young, and Elaine Joyce, who was his wife at the time. And he talked about that show. I remember watching that show. I remember watching him on that show, trying to make somebody from like Pig's Knuckle, Arkansas, try to laugh on some joke. And he's there, just going forward, and he's working with, a lot of young comedians. There's pictures in here, a picture of another guy who just died too young, Fred Travalina. Yeah. You see that, and, it brings back all these fond memories of, when I was watching Charlie on all those things, and who in a million years would have thought I'd be working with Charlie all those years later.
The Vegas years, you probably wrote a lot about that.
The greatest years in Vegas that I know of, because it was still hot. It was the Sinatra era. It was the Wayne Newton, that people don't seem to understand that's unfair to Wayne Newton. He outdrew Sinatra in that town. And Wayne Newton happens to be a very kind and nice man.
You know I worked for him, right?
I'm sorry?
You know I worked for him.
I worked for him. Became his friend. I saw what kind of a man he was. He turned around and he sued NBC. And I happened to mention him. I says, you know, you're going up. They offered him $5 million to settle. But he says, it's my dignity. I ain't settling it. He finally won for $24 million. And NBC told him he's never going to collect a dime. Following year went to 12 million, 10 million, 9 million, and it cost him 7, 8 of his own money to defend it, and he lost the suit. But to see the guy like I saw him, of course he had an ego. He used to hold court, of course. Here's a guy 12, 13 years old, working in Vegas, entertaining people in a lounge, and grew up to be a main attraction, working 45, 50 weeks a year in Vegas and packing them in. No disrespect to Sinatra, of course not. But this guy had his own world. And I see today, nobody wants to bow out. He's got a big, you know, how dare you do that to a man who has his imprint when he was 12 years old in this town? Sinatra wasn't 12 years old when he worked this town. Perry Como, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, all of them. This guy was, I think he came out of his mother's womb working Vegas.
With 12 instruments.
Huh?
With 12 instruments.
I don't care how many, he does everything, this guy. Yeah. And he had an ego, but you know something? It was like Liberace. I mean, Liberace goes, well, you know, what? He's packing them. Women were following this man. I'm pretty good looking. Nobody's following me. Nobody. Nobody says, let's go by the door and see Pat Cooper. Maybe he would. Nobody. I'll tell you how bad it is. A woman said to me the other night, she said to me, Pat, let's go to bed. I said, if I go to bed with you, I'm going to sleep. She goes, what? She goes, what? No, I insulted her. She goes, aren't I appealing? Bananas are appealing. I'm dead. You understand? It's over. And that ain't my elbow.
You know what would kill you tonight is to go outside. It's like about 10 degrees.
That won't matter. I'm a New Yorker. That's me. When you walk in New York with the slop and we complain, it's New York. It's got a flow where you can't find anywhere in the world.
Well, I'm going to go outside.
Not now.
Yeah.
Not with me.
No. No, yeah. See, you won't go. I'm going to go out.
Why?
Because I want to run into someone I haven't met before.
Okay.
And this is the city where you...
Well, I think that's a good thing. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I'm going to actually take the walk. I'm going to do the Reynolds rap.
No, do me a favor. Wear an overcoat.
We're going to go outside. After we take a break here, Al Wunsch, thanks for being here. And Pat Cooper's How Dare You Say How Dare Me.
Thank you.
Which is his book. And he's at the 92nd Street Y Tuesday, tomorrow. See you there. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Joe. God bless.
So this is the Reynolds rap. Is that what we're going to call this thing?
This is the Reynolds rap. This is the Reynolds rap. And this is where you come outside in the street and you grab some people in strange outfits and say, hi, I'm Joey Reynolds, and what are you doing tonight?
You know how to get people who want to be on television? You got to give them money. Watch this. See, nobody wants to do anything free anymore. They all want to do things for money. A 10? Let's start with this, right? Anybody want to be on TV? Nobody wants to be on television? Does anybody know who I am? Well, I better make it 20.
Who are you? Come on.
See, I'm Joey Reynolds. You ever hear of me?
No.
You will. You will. After a long time of watching TV, you watch television at all?
Yeah.
Do you watch NBC?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on it next week.
Awesome. Where?
You're going to on NBC.
What show? Your own show?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, you don't know who I am? What's your name?
Chubbs.
Chubbs?
Yeah.
That's not a real name. Can I have a shot and a beer? Are you going to drink if I give you money?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not? That's what it's about.
No, you're
drinking and having a good time and enjoying myself.
I'm a sobriety guy.
Well, that's your problem, not mine.
Look in that window. What does that sign say in that window? What does it say?
All Night with Joey Reynolds.
Now, what's my name?
Joey Reynolds.
Hi, what's your name?
Sharon.
Sharon, I want to touch you.
No,
but I don't dare.
Easy, easy.
Batman.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
It's good to meet you. Where's Robin?
Robin, I fired him. He can't handle pressure.
We saw you in the summer. And how are you again?
Good.
What's your name?
Rada.
You're from Italy.
No, like Egyptian.
What's your name?
Matthew.
You don't have to yell at the mic.
Oh.
Hi.
My name is Matthew.
No, I'm really glad to meet you, Chubb. So what do you do?
I own a clothing company. I'm in town at the Job Center. It's called Pike Styles.
Wow. So you got all of these are death-defying clothes, right? You got skeletons. So where are you coming from?
I'm from Ireland, but I've been here 5 years.
No, I meant emotionally.
Oh, don't ask me that question. No.
You're gonna be serving us food?
Like little bit English, Captain.
No good English, yeah. Whenever you ask for something, the English gets bad. I know, especially if it's free. Okay, who are you?
We're university students from England.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So
what's your name? Mary Poppins.
Beth Adams.
So I'm going to do the one thing that recovering alcoholics should never do.
What's that?
Give a drunk money.
God bless you. You have a great day, sir. Thank you very kindly.
Where's your car?
My car, it's a couple blocks down the street.
Yeah, mine's there too. It's got a tow truck on it.
Oh man, I better get going.
Yeah, you better.
I better get going for that tow truck. Get my Batmobile.
Joey Reynolds all night.
You're a good
I'm
guy.
excited. I want to come to your show.
What's the name? You're here. What's the name of the clothing company?
Bike Styles.
How do we go to the site? What site?
www.bikestylesinc.com.
I'll see you at the meetings. Well, I'm really glad I met you. We need a bodyguard for the show. You see the show in here is called, you see what it is there?
Joey Reynolds. I've been trying. You're Joey Reynolds?
Yeah.
All right, nice to meet you, Joey Reynolds. Hey, look, I know y'all probably was talking about me out there. I was talking about y'all in there. I'm trying to figure out who Joey Reynolds is. Now I met you. I'm happy.
And maybe one day I'll sponsor Joey Reynolds. You need some nice clothes. I got hats, socks. We got it all.
Whatever happened to Adam West? Didn't he lose that gig?
I'm a Joey Reynolds fan for life.
There you go. Good job. Thank you.
Joey Reynolds, nice to meet you.
All right, so long, Batman. Really nice. I hope I run into Wonder Woman. All right, I guess we played this one out, you guys. It's been cold and wonderful, and I'm going inside. I've had quite enough of this Reynolds rap. It's a wrap.
New York celebrities have something to say. They head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Cat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. He has. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked?
Tell me something good. The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a 4-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm my grandpa. Yeah, I'm a grandma.
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is the best. I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
From Times Square in the heart of New York City, welcome to All Night with Joey Reynolds. Joey's guest tonight, comedian Pat Cooper. Entertainer Leighann Lord. The funny lady herself, Nancy Witter. musical guests, the Ebony Hillbillies Band, Carole J. Bufford, ladies and gentlemen, Joey Reynolds.
You probably noticed that nobody notices who I am exactly, but you know, when you're on television for a little while, they're going to start ganging up in the window here, especially my debtors, you know, the guys I owe money to. But I wonder if, you know, we're in Times Square, and we're at the NASDAQ, which is 43rd and Broadway, and we're in the window, which is the fishbowl of the world, and I wonder if Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark have gone home yet. You know, I mean, this is one of those times when you look outside and they will hang out for anything. You know, if there's a camera, they'll be back. I know they'll be back. But it's tempting to do a show like this because there are so many things involved. You know, people see you at home and they want to buy stuff. Now, Carl Sabatino's here tonight, and he got hit last night by a couple of guys outside. And tonight, when we went outside with our cameras, we went on the street.
We're on the street.
And there was a guy who was hawking clothes from Cleveland, I think, right?
He caught me on the corner as I was leaving, and I got the psst in the corner, and he says, "You're with Joey Reynolds, typical New York. You're with Joey Reynolds." He says, "I got a deal."
What was he going to give you?
He wanted me to go to the back of his car. You get clothes and radios and for free, and I have to pay 75% off. I said, "What kind of a deal is that?" He says, "Tell Joey to come out. You know, you always talk about the truck that's parked behind your car. It's become a thing now."
That's a tow truck.
A tow truck.
Well, we haven't done that yet.
He says, "Don't worry, I know where the guy lives," he says.
we were in rehearsal when that was happening.
That's right.
We've been rehearsing the show for about a week. It doesn't show.
He loved it. He loved it.
Do you like our desk here? Because this is kind of, I feel like an ESPN guy.
That's okay.
You know?
Well, the desk has style. It's got the cameras up front. I mean, they've
But
done
it's
such a great job.
confining.
A
I
little confining.
have no pants on. And I want to show everybody my real picture here. No, I mean, it's an amazing thing to have this kind of posturing. You know, I'm dressed a little bit, you know, I mean, I'm dressed up a little for me. I'm a casual guy.
But you look good. I mean,
well, you don't have to flatter me.
No, but you look. I got the gig.
But you know,
I got the gig anyway.
Yeah, you got it. Now, you know, I wanted to have a loose show that's like, I wanted to do a show like people really watch TV these days and listen to radio these days. I wanted to do something because people, you know, we all go on the internet. I was going to actually, as a matter of fact, I want to share something with you.
Please.
You know, we have cue cards.
Yep.
We got a wonderful crew of people here. We are so hip and they're so young that we don't use cue cards. They text message me to give me directions as to, we got 4 more minutes. There will be 80 more minutes of Pat Cooper. You know, was it great?
Wonderful.
Pat Cooper great?
Wonderful.
How'd you like our little Reynolds rap outside?
I loved it. But it was cold last night. It was cold.
Tonight. We are tonight. We're in the moment.
I got to remember, we're in the moment. Yeah. It was cold.
Yeah.
But
it is cold.
But you did great.
It wasn't. It is cold.
I thought Batman, the Batman thing was, I have no words for it.
Yeah. But you know, one of these days, we're going to actually have a crowd outside. And we're going to have to deal with it.
Yes, you will.
And this is something that is not going to happen with many of the major performers. They will not go out in public. They're afraid. Of course, the kind of shows they're doing, if you were Bill O'Reilly, you wouldn't go out either in a crowd. You never know. People are crazy. You know, and they do things to you when you are upsetting them.
Yeah, but they're all living off cues. You don't live off cues. That's why you're great outside.
And I'm not going to upset anybody because I don't have any opinions.
That's it. And but no, your opinions are the guy from Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, you had to love that guy.
Well, I'm the regular guy. I think I'm the regular guy. I don't know if that'll work on television though. We'll see. We'll see. Because on radio it works pretty well if you take phone calls and you argue and you set some. You know, I'm not going to do that. But on television it's a little bit different. It's a more intimacy. You know, on radio. Radio is it spells into me see, but actually it's into me here. This is into me see. So we're a little more intimate as a broadcast on the television. Now, Carl's a seasoned broadcaster. He started on radio, I guess, right?
Radio.
Those older guys started like myself.
Right.
I didn't start on radio. I started on TV, which a lot of people don't know that. You know, I had the reverse thing. We got Carole Bufford out here. You know who she is?
Yes, I do.
Carole is a lovely little pixie. Bring Carole out here. Carole, come on.
She's wonderful.
Warm the room a little bit because it's getting a little chilly. We want someone beautiful out here. I'm tired of looking at Carole. And we got a lovely young lady who's also a very good artist, good singer. And she's here with her guitar player, Alex Cooper. I thought it was Alice Cooper. I got really excited.
Do join us.
Hello.
You know, I thought some guy with makeup
Kiss.
competing with you. You're very beautiful, Carole.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you got a lot of awards. You got some nightclub awards, and
Oh.
you've done some wonderful work. And I know you're going to sing for us tonight, right?
Yes.
But before we do that, let's put a little bit out there. You know, I wanted to put people on the air who are lesser known than the big stars. You know, not you're a semi. I'm not insulting you. I mean, you know,
no offense.
you know what I mean. I mean the big money names.
Yes.
And we're not doing that so much, probably because they're not here yet. We'll have to do some of them. But I'm going more for the interesting talent that doesn't have that shot, you know. And I want you to have this kind of a freedom of expression on our show. And I know that this is a good platform for you, right?
Yes, definitely.
You all right with this?
Absolutely.
You all right with me?
Absolutely.
You got to say that. Camera, you know.
I'd say it anyway.
No, but it's really, we don't know each other.
No, I did your radio show once.
Yeah, right. We're not real good friends. I mean, you know, and you want to set that clear that we don't date.
We don't date.
No, and I have never hit on you.
No, you've not.
Tonight will be the first.
Yes. I was hoping.
No, I'm serious. You're a very talented young lady, and I wanted to have you on the show as our first night. I thought it would be exciting to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And I want to know a little bit about you.
Okay.
Without doing the usual, 10 questions.
Spiel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I were to just have you as a guest, which we do, and you're sitting across from me, and you wanted to say something, without cue cards, there's no cue cards, there's been no prepping on the show, right? You're hanging. Mm-hmm. So what is it that really we should know, or in the direction that I should go in, that you really are proud of, that maybe you wouldn't get asked?
That I'm proud of?
Yeah. What are you doing that's really exciting, or something that strikes you that you want to talk about?
Well, something coming up that I'm very excited about.
That's a plug.
That's a plug. No plugs. I can't do plugs.
Well, you can do plugs for anything. But what are you really into right now? Like you're learning some charts, you're learning some music?
I just bought a ukulele.
There you go. See,
I'm
there's
learning
something.
how to play it. I got one song down.
Which is?
It's pretty good. I'm Yours. Jason Mraz, I'm Yours.
Well, is that a standard or something?
It's been on the charts. It was on a big hit like a year or two ago.
All right, so this is current music, though.
Yes.
All right, now, are you doing that American Songbook stuff? You have...
I love the American Songbook, the Great American Songbook.
Do you like it called that, or do you want it to be called...
I don't, actually. I consider it the Greater American Songbook. I don't like that in some people's minds it ends at a certain year. I think there's wonderful music that has continued to be written. So.
Well, you're young, and you probably weren't around for a lot of these people.
No, but I was raised on it. I love
How do they, everybody says that, they were raised on it. What do you mean raised on it? Does somebody force feed you this music or
No,
something?
force, I loved it. My father and mother both listened to Dinah Washington, Ella Fitzgerald, Judy Garland, Liza Minnelli, like all growing up. So this is, my dad's cooking in the kitchen and that's the music that's playing.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't put an iPod to your womb.
No, but music's always playing. I have a very musical family. No one that sings, but very musical.
Where do you get a transfer of this music? Where do you get it? Do you acquire a taste for it? I'm seriously asking you this because I don't know.
I really loved it from the beginning. I don't know.
Why?
If it's, I don't know. It's just in me, and I like it. I remember dancing around to it around the house. I like it. I love the blues. I love that.
That's the way I feel about polkas.
Well, there you go.
No. Only when you bowl. But some of the music that I grew up with was a crossover. I came at that time when Frank Sinatra was on the charts, and I'm playing Beatle records. So he was really into the Beatles too, I mean, he did that. We were talking about that. I think the other night with Sid Bernstein. I was having a conversation with him. But the things that happen with our music today is it's very confusing. We don't have the same kind of chord structures. Is that what it is? And melodies?
Yeah, it's not at all. I agree.
So what are you doing? You're writing your own stuff and rolling it and smoking it, or?
I'm dabbling in the writing area. I'd always done a lot of standards and then songs here and there, but never my own. So I'm starting now to kind of delve into that area.
Are we going to be graced with that tonight?
Not tonight. I got to get it good.
Well, this is the place to get it good. If you don't get it good here, you're going to have it anywhere.
I'll tell you when I get it
You're on
good.
the air. Come on. But you mean by saying good, you mean in a club or on a recording? Because the record business is over. Music is not, but the record business is.
Yeah, but there's always iTunes.
There's always a lot of things. You're writing your own songs, but tonight you're not doing one of your original songs.
No. I literally just started into that little area.
So what are you going to do tonight?
I'm singing Folsom Prison Blues.
How do you feel about American Idol, where they judge someone?
You know, I started watching American Idol the very first season, and I loved it. I don't mind the judging thing. I've been in contests before. I'm fine with that. I like criticism.
You do?
More the better, constructive criticism. Absolutely. But I've kind of gotten tired of it. It's a little too long now, I think.
Well, so when you're through here, can I criticize what you're doing?
Yeah, sure, if you
no,
want to.
No, I won't do that. I mean, that's miserable to have that happen. Why would anyone, you're coming here, you're going to perform, and you're going to sing your little heart out, and then I'm going to make fun of it?
Well, don't make fun of it. Constructive criticism.
Well, what's constructive? To say...
Something that will help someone grow as an artist.
Well, then I'm making myself a judge.
Yeah.
Well, then you can tell me to get my tired butt up there and sing myself if I don't.
But you're not putting yourself in that place.
No.
That's the thing with American Idol. I never understood when people got so offended. You know,
I'm on
you
that
tried
show.
out for
America's Got No Talent. I can get up there anytime and do none of this. But I want you to perform here and feel comfortable. You know, this is your living room here. You're broadcasting to the world from Times Square. You're not too intimidated, are you?
Not too much.
No. Do you like this little fishbowl that we're in?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's really neat.
All right, so we're going to put Carole Bufford out there, and she's going to sing, and we're going to see you appear where?
At Feinstein's, February 24th.
Good room, good room. They actually give you money. All right, our show, which is, we have a 2-drink minimum here.
Oh, nice. So
we'll be right back, and Carole's going to perform.
I can't believe it. This is the 3rd time this month my PC crashed. The last crash cost me $2,500, and they only restored a portion of my data.
You should check out this new online backup software called Desk Protect. I can easily recover from a crash at any time.
Desk Protect? Must be complicated.
Not at all. With Desk Protect, you just run a simple installation process, and within minutes, you can select the data you need protected.
Sounds expensive.
How's less than $6 a month sound?
$6 a month. Even I can afford that.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC desktops and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
Picture wonderful guests, terrific music, and comics that are really funny, and a host that's okay. That's me, Joey Reynolds, on NBC's New York Nonstop, and what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop. Every night we have a show here, and we try to bring the best people that we possibly can get our hands on who will work for us. And it's going to be that way every night around here. So if you want to see something that you don't know who you're going to see, this is the wait a minute, and if you don't like it, we'll change it. You know, it's one of those things. I have a particular love for the cabaret because the cabaret is nightclub and theater people are either on the way up or trying to make a contribution on the way down. It's an amazing collection of great talent. And every year they do the Mabel Mercer Foundation, which is the cabaret week. It used to be at Town Hall, now it's over at Lincoln Center at the Rose Hall. And Donald Smith, who has the Mabel Mercer Foundation, he this year outdid himself. It was 3 days, I think, this year instead of a whole week. And every night you go and you see something really terrific. This lady knocked them dead, and Holden, who's the writer for the New York Times, gave her rave reviews, and she's just one of those exceptional talents. I just talked to her a little while ago, and now she's going to sing. So let's, without a studio audience here, it's a little bit awkward, but here's Carole Bufford.
I hear the train a-coming, it's coming round the bend. I've seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on, but that train keeps on rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, always be a good girl, don't you ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And when I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Bet there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and they are smoking fine cigars. They say I had it coming. I know I'll never be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Now if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I bet they'd have to move me a little farther down the Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And then I let that lonesome whistle my blues away.
I want to do a standing ovation. Let me stand anyway. And also thank you, Alex Cooper, for being with us tonight too. We're going to be right back, and we got some comics coming out here. So if you want to laugh, just look at my face. No, I mean, just wait a minute. We'll be right back.
Steve, I can't get the files on the Sanders case. The printers are down again.
Steve, the wireless network and all the servers are completely down on the 4th floor.
That's it. Denise, I'm done with that company. Call ASAP NetSauce.
Also, tell them we need an on-site tech for some installs we got going on next week.
Dad, the printer isn't working again, and I have to hand in this report tomorrow morning.
And the internet's down again.
And we're out of toner, too.
I know just who to call.
Let ASAP NetSource be your only source for your office and home.
Picture wonderful guests, terrific music, and comics that are really funny, and a host that's okay. That's me, Joey Reynolds, on NBC's New York Nonstop, and what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC, desktops, and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
The difference between a high-budget show and this one, well, this is not a high-budget show, is the cup. You know, these those real expensive shows, they give you ceramics. I got the paper cup. The paper cup is a real cheap one. And I love the New York things. You know what? I love New York. The I love New York bags. They must have made about 4 zillion of them. I don't know. Every time you go to a store, you find them. Where do they make these bags? Who's the guy that owns that? That's the guy that's got all the money. The I Love New York bag franchise. That's what you want to have. Leighann Lord is here. Now, she's very funny, and she's an unusual comic because she's an African-American lady who's got a great wisdom, and she's not mean, but she's been on The View. How does that go? So let's bring out Leighann Lord. She's coming right now. I think we got her on the hallway here. Leighann, come on and join the party here tonight. And welcome to my fishbowl. This is the Joey Reynolds. You know, this is the windows of the world. This is the windows that Bill Gates wishes he had. These windows need cleaning, baby.
Yeah, see that.
So I didn't mean anything disrespectful when I said, you know, African-American, you know.
I didn't even hear it. Play it back so I can see if I can be offended.
No playbacks on this.
Darn it, okay.
So what, do you like being called African-American or?
I like being called Leighann.
Yeah, well, I know that.
We're gonna pick.
No, when we get into the color situation in our country where one day we're all gonna just melt together.
Well, that's my plan. That's why I married a white guy, to help facilitate the whole melting thing.
See, now you call him a white guy.
I called him a white guy.
I would not have done that.
Okay, Greek, Irish guy.
That's it.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't have done that either. But you know, New York's a melting pot of everything, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such a great city of a collection of maniacs. They come in all sizes, colors, and all kinds
genders,
of behavior.
yes.
And gender, too, that's right, I forgot. Excuse me.
Ladies can be a little crazy.
This is right. Now, I know that you have a great reputation for being clean.
I wash every day.
No, not that. But how you manage to be clean in this, and I'm bringing it up for a reason on television, because, you know, usually we're not insightful. I don't want to ruin your act, but.
No, here's what's weird. I do use language on occasion. I mean, I subscribe to Robert Klein's theory that if you're cursing all the time in your act, it's like a spice when you're cooking.
Yeah.
And so you've ruined the dish if you've used too much spice. The same thing in your stand-up or when you're writing. You use too much of the language, no one hears you. But if you throw a word out here and there, sometimes you need it. And because I use it so sparingly, people don't hear it at all. I've had people come and be, oh my gosh, you didn't curse at all. I'm like, well, no, I said one word right here, but, paragraph 32, you didn't hear that? And they don't at all. Because I use the language responsibly. But for the most part, I'm clean, and it wasn't my intention, honestly. I was really just trying to be who I am and how I was raised. And when I went to school, I was an English major, so I have a familiarity with the language.
Plus, you lived in Ithaca. I mean, that'll do it.
No, me, Ithaca?
Did you live in Ithaca?
No, I lived in Jamaica. That rhymes.
Really?
Really, South Jamaica.
Long Island?
Yeah, right on the border, right by Kennedy Airport. There's a runway and my house. There we go. No,
really?
Ithaca.
Why do I have the same
I'm not
name?
even supposed to be the guest here, am I? Some
No,
chick from Ithaca.
I know who you are. But where were you? Where did you go to college?
I went to college right here. I'm a city girl. I went to Baruch College, City University of New York.
Usually I have a pretty good memory. I had that in the back of my head.
Now I might have went to a party or two
at
Ithaca.
No, don't cop. Don't.
Okay, no, I take that back. My mother doesn't know I partied at all.
All right, now when you decided that you were going to marry this gentleman you married.
Yes.
How long ago was it?
Oh gosh, we've been married. This will be our 10th year in May, married.
All right, and you knew there was a color thing going on.
I did, and wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I mean, it was nothing I planned. I don't know if anyone ever plans any sort of relationship, and the color thing never crossed my mind.
Was it a place for humor?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
Like what?
Well, here's the thing. I remember I brought him home, and my parents just had that face like, really? We're going to do the white guy thing? I'm like, yeah, we're doing the white guy thing, because he's above all a good guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? My parents are fine with it, after the therapy and all. It's really it's been okay. We hug it out.
How's he?
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He doesn't do stand-up.
Of course he does stand-up.
He does.
As a matter of fact.
What's his name?
Jim Mandrinos. You know my husband.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
This is a new show.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Jim's great. He's one of the funniest comics around.
And you know what? I'm really, really proud of him. Tonight actually happens to be his 10,000th night.
Really?
In stand-up comedy.
Where did he do it?
I believe, I don't know where his first show was, but he started September 5th, 1980 something. Yeah, way back there in the 80s. But it was where we were out having dinner, and I had one of these apps on my phone where you put in the date and you can figure out how many days things have gone. And it was like 9,900 something. I'm like, baby, you're close to 10,000 days. And we actually sort of made something special out of it and did a big show here in the city.
Where were you?
We were over at the Metropolitan Room, the old Gotham Comedy Club.
Good.
And it was such a wonderful night. So it was Jim Mandrinos and friends, and he's celebrating 10,000 nights in stand-up comedy. I'm not sure if anyone really wants to do 10,000 nights in stand-up, but it's an accomplishment.
Did you do anything with
I
him
did.
tonight?
I opened the show.
You
I
did.
opened the show. So we sort of bookended it, this sort of a comedy of love.
Did you let the audience in on the whole secret?
Well, the secret that we're married, or he's been performing?
10,000 performance.
Yes, they knew. They knew. We told people, and a lot of people just came out that were fans of his already, and wanted to say, thank you for what you do.
Are you working on any of the political stuff? You doing any political humor? You kind of stayed away from the last time I talked to you.
Yeah, it's really gotten so divisive.
Yeah.
And just so abrasive that it's been difficult. Because I used to be very interested in it, especially, having the president that we have now. He's adorable. But yeah, that last election, it's very vitriolic, and I think we learned a big lesson. Once you go black, you go right back to red. So yeah, I've sort of taken a step back.
Can there be any comedy with this president, or is he finding us funny? Because Chris Rock got a laugh out of him.
Yeah,
with Oprah.
I do think he's funny. I do think he's
got a good sense of humor, but I don't know if he would have one if you're taking a shot at him. I shouldn't use that expression.
Well, I think most people have a problem when they're having a shot taken at them. I don't think that's just him.
No. I just wonder how thin-skinned he is. That's all. He's an all-inclusive guy like I am. I'm that kind of a person. I really like having that kind of a community sense. I like everybody to like me. I'm not just trying to get one kind of person to like me, for instance.
Okay.
I think he's that way. He wants Well, he's that kind of guy. You know, he wants everybody to be in on the thing.
Yeah, he wants everybody to come to the table, and can we all act like grown-ups? And clearly, we can't.
And do you know where his sore spot would be, or his soft spot? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. He's left-handed. I don't know.
No, but it doesn't seem like there's any place where he's gone cold or been offended.
No,
so
he does seem pretty bulletproof.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly think he's a nice guy just trying to get the job done. You know, in a nest of vipers.
So where are you going to do humor with that?
But it's not just him. It's everything around him. It's the Congress that we have. You know, our crying head of the House of Representatives. I mean, this guy, Boehner is how we say his name. We've all agreed to that. Not pronounced the other way. Okay. It's like, wow, I was an English major. I spelled that out phonetically. That's not Boehner. It's just not. It's just not. See, and I didn't even have to say it. Your mind filled in right there.
I went right over it because I'm trying to keep both audiences.
Okay. Well, I'll behave myself then.
No. Don't. Please don't. It's your trip.
Okay. No, but you are right. I mean, I've pulled away from doing political humor, but also because the audiences have pulled away from it. It's very difficult to do political humor in a non-presidential year.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like the minute the election is over, their minds are gone. I have been venturing out a little bit because, you know, 2012 is coming, so you can put a little bit out there. I've been teasing, saying that I hope that we can have a black woman be president now that the door's open. And usually I'm greeted with stares. When I say that, people get very nervous. They think I mean Queen Latifah.
Well, that's because of a woman. It's not. Now we're past the color thing. Now we're into the gender.
And now that's more serious.
So how many boundaries are we going to violate, or how many barriers are we going to get over? You know, whichever way you look at this.
Interesting you say violate. Interesting you say
Yeah, because that's what people's senses are. When you step over something, it's a violation.
And not necessarily
like my car
progress.
out there, which has got the police car behind it.
Ooh.
Have you noticed?
No, I did not.
Take a look, and you'll see. Now you want to see what a violation is? There's a cop car. Watch. Just turn around. Go ahead. You can look.
Okay.
Behind my car. See?
Oh dear.
Now that guy he's ready to pounce on that any minute. We have a tow truck that's been circling the field. They're getting very hungry for me.
Wow.
That's a violation.
That's a real violation.
Oh, so is stepping over someone's boundaries. In a family, there's a violation. If you step over your boundary, if someone doesn't want you don't want your brother touching your things in your room.
True, but there's also the concept of crossing a finish line, which is a boundary, but it's a good crossing.
Well,
not all boundary crossings are negative.
We get into that whole philosophy of does the end justify the means? And that's where
How do we get there?
Because you want to achieve
I need a map.
Well, you said running a race and you want to achieve a goal, of course, but it's not. Winning the race is really fair play. You got to play it fair. So, this is a philosophy. Come on.
No, see, I sigh, not because I disagree with you, because I do agree with you, and most people aren't playing fair. I mean, I almost really want to get a T-shirt that says "Life is not fair," just to remind myself.
Well, that's in the Scott Peck book. You know how it opens, right?
Scott Peck.
Right at the very beginning. Life is not fair. Get over it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm stuck at the get over it part. I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. Because we raise our children with the idea in a way that life is going to be fair. If you tell the teacher or if you do what you're supposed to do as a little kid, that everything's going to work out. And I think we hold on to that, and by we I mean me. We hold on to that into adulthood. We think someone's going to step in and referee sometimes, and that doesn't happen.
I have 2 kids, and I'm here to tell you something very, very provocative.
Uh-oh.
They're never off the payroll. Never off the payroll. It doesn't matter what age they are, how far away from the house they are. You always have to get hit up for money. You don't know that?
No,
You have any children?
No, I have a husband and a Cocker Spaniel, and he's very expensive.
Not the same.
He's why I
Not
work.
the same.
Not the husband.
Better
the
to
dog.
put paper under the kids and never be asked for money.
Oh,
So where do we see you? Where are we going to see you work?
Oh, gosh. I've got a couple of great shows coming up. First of all, I'm going to Alaska. I don't know if you know that. Yes,
No.
I'm going to Alaska for Armed Forces Entertainment. Apparently, we have a couple of bases up there. We're occupying Alaska.
Yeah.
So I'm going up to entertain there. And the big show I have coming up here in New York is at the Tribeca Performing Arts Center, and that's on November 19th.
That's way off.
Oh, that's
You got to
not
come back
way
before then, I
off.
hope. No, you come back.
Oh, I would love to come. I don't even want to leave.
Well, bring Jim out here. And believe me, we'll take hostages. I know that'll happen. Leighann Lord is here. Thank you so much,
honey,
Leighann.
thank you
You're funny.
so much. I
Great
love
lady.
our philosophical conversations.
Yeah, well, you know, we can do this later on when they don't pay attention to us.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not paying attention to us right now.
I think they're riveted now.
Never know. We'll be right back.
I can't believe it. This is the third time this month my PC crashed. The last crash cost me $2,500 and they only restored a portion of my data.
You should check out this new online backup software called Desk Protect. I can easily recover from a crash at any time.
Desk Protect? Must be complicated.
Not at all. With Desk Protect, you just run a simple installation process, and within minutes, you can select the data you need protected.
Sounds expensive.
How's less than $6 a month sound?
$6 a month. Even I can afford that.
Picture wonderful guests, terrific music, and comics that are really funny, and a host that's okay. That's me, Joey Reynolds, on NBC's New York Nonstop, and what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC, desktops, and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
We're in Times Square, and I know a lot of people are walking by and they think this is a sports show or a financial show because we're at NASDAQ at their market site. It's at 43rd and Broadway in case you want to come by here and stick your nose against the glass. We have no baked goods, but we do have food from Lamella, which is in Little Italy on Mulberry Street. Those guys gave us some of their calamari and rigatoni and some of that stuff. Leighann, you had some of that, right?
I love their food.
What did you have?
That's actually why I come to the show. I had the rigatoni.
Everybody comes here to eat. They don't want to see me.
No. It's the double. It's the double header. It's the food and it's you. Or you and the food.
Well, you know, no one ever wants to have their name played with. And yes, she's got the perfect name, Nancy Witter.
That's perfect.
Right? I mean, you know, that's a comic name, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
If you're going to be known as anything, as a writer, you would be Whittier. Nancy, come on out here. Nancy Whittier is out there somewhere. She's circling the field. We'll bring her in here. She's one of our great lady comics, and this is like half of you, having both of you here tonight. I got bookends. Nancy.
Joey.
Come on over here. Don't fall over anybody.
I'll try not to.
Sit down. How are you? Good to have me here.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Show. Look at this.
I know. It's very Catholic. It's like a cathedral here, right?
It sure
We're
is.
going to worship.
It's wonderful. Leighann, darling.
You know Leighann, right?
Yes.
You know Nancy. You guys have anything in common?
We chatted in the makeup room.
Good, then one of you must leave. There's not going to be any comedy on that.
We were talking about the Golden Girls.
Yes,
that we were
huge
big
fans
of the Golden Girls.
Well, everybody loves Betty
I
White
know.
right now.
Well, I'm on the B. Arthur team, to be honest with you.
But Betty White's a survivor. You know, I mean, you know.
She's the Highlander of the Golden Girls,
Yeah.
yes. She's the last Golden Girl standing, true.
Yeah, and I'm probably the last jock standing. There's nobody else doing this right now.
Well,
There's
look at
nobody
you.
doing a variety show on television. Who else is there?
Joey Reynolds.
No, I'm serious. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to do these things anymore. You know, we've had the Merv Griffins, the Mike Douglases.
Right.
We've had everybody. Pat Sajak did it for a while. Even Jerry Lewis took a shot at Johnny Carson. There's a lot of these people who have come and gone with this format. And Chevy Chase, I think he did it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's tried this. You know, Joey Bishop. I'm just jogging through all the names now real fast. And they're mostly late night. These are late night people.
Right.
And they're mostly guys, except for Roseanne. She did one of those things. Roseanne was the exception to the rule. She had a late night talk show for a while.
Did she?
Whoopi had one too.
Whoopi did too, you're right.
I liked her show. I liked her show.
Well, I miss some of the moments on all of these shows because there was always something, but it wasn't really, it didn't catch. You know, you gotta really catch the public's fancy. I don't know how we're gonna do that here. You just got to do what you do.
You just got to be who you are.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you pray a lot.
That's right.
You build it and they come.
Yeah,
That's what
well, you
I've heard.
hope. You hope.
Well, so far, the show's been very entertaining. Everyone during backstage is very entertaining. So
they're all paid.
Well, it's good for
You know,
them.
if you give the audience.
Wow, I missed my check. Oh, well.
Oh, well, you know, we'll give you some money later.
Oh, okay. I get the mug.
Promissory
I get a
note
mug.
from me.
I'm just happy to be out of the house.
Nancy, you're not out of the house, and you're not. You're one of the greatest ladies around who takes chances.
Sometimes, yes.
And you had a television thing you most recently did.
Yep.
Which was?
Wits End.
Yeah.
That we did. We did a pilot. It didn't get picked up or anything,
Yet.
but it would
Not yet.
But it was really a lot of fun. It was fun working with creative people and working it out with some funny comedians. And whether it works or it doesn't work, it was fun to do. And traveling around doing comedy, being with funny people all the time is great. Pat Cooper was here. He was hilarious. It was a joy to watch him. And that's what it is. You have a good time and you go and hope you can keep on doing it. You know, we do it because we love it. It's a lot of fun.
But we're all dressed too well for comedy.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, this is not like we're gussied up.
Well, I have to gussy up. I'm too old to be casual, really. It doesn't,
I like the
gotta
gussy
really-
up. I like the show of show business.
I do
I
too.
think people have dressed down too much, as a matter of fact.
I've never worn jeans in my life. I just was never, I was always someone.
So we've just lost the Gap as a sponsor, is what you're saying.
They didn't want me as their
I
spokesperson.
think they make other things.
They
But
didn't
you
want
have the brick wall. You know, the brick wall syndrome, which is to have that casual look. Even Larry David, who never dresses up, I don't think he still does.
But that's his style. I bet
Yeah.
that's the way he dresses. I dress
Most of
like
these
this.
guys are slobs. And comics, stand-up comics are slobs. They like it. I mean, they feel it's a comfort zone, I guess, where you wear a T-shirt and jeans, and you got the little brick wall, and you look like you're starving, and you're.
And that you don't care.
Yeah.
I do. I've always thought it was a privilege. I do. I always thought it was a privilege to be on stage, to be able to have everybody. I wanted to look good. And sometimes when I see comics with their hand on the mic stand and they lean against the brick wall and they have their kind of vibe, especially very young comics, is I'm so cool. This is nothing for me. And I was always like, this is always a big thing for me. I'm away from the kids. I'm out of the house. This is fantastic. So I always got dressed up.
Well, I would like to see Angelina Jolie do a tight 10. That would be my.
She doesn't need to. Yeah, 10 what?
Yeah, her
she
would be
doesn't
kids.
need to. If I looked like Angelina Jolie, I wouldn't be doing.
You could just stand
I could
there.
just stand. I could just stand up. I wouldn't have to say anything.
Well, I have a daughter who looks like her, and she has those estrogen lips.
Oh.
I'm going to bring her on the show tomorrow night.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and have her do her tight 10. Is there such a thing as a tight 10 in comedy anymore?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's really more like the tight 6 or the tight
Yeah.
4, depending
Yeah.
on the show. Yeah.
Can you make money doing this stuff?
Sure.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
not
mean,
this stuff. What
not,
you
not
what
my
you do,
show,
yeah.
but other shows.
Well, you're at Don't Tell Mama, right?
Yeah,
All the time.
Yeah.
And you're very funny.
And I travel. I travel with 2 other women. We're called Mama's Night Out, and we go to different theaters. I was telling Leighann across the country. These little regional. Well, they're not little. They're regional theaters across the United States, and there's a huge audience. That's how you see America, you know. And
Well, how are you getting your laughs? What are you tapping into?
I talk about my life, and that's where I find the humor. I have
Let
never.
me hear a little bit about your life. I want to hear a little of this thing. You're tight
Like,
too.
honestly, my husband, Jack, broke his ankle, and so he's been home, and my gym membership ran out. And I go to the gym. Joey's looking at me like, really? The gym? I go, and I'm the only one there that needs to be there. Everybody else can go home. Everyone else is thin, they're young, they're touching their toes. If God wanted me to touch my toes, he'd put them at my knees where I could reach them. And I go to the gym, and I look at this girl next to me, and she's so tiny. I said, what size are you? And she goes, I'm a size 2. And I don't think I'm thin enough. I said, but you are. And she goes, how do you know? I said, because I could cook you and eat you and still be hungry. And that stuff happens to me at the gym. I was getting off the walking machine. What do you call that?
Yeah, I go to the gym too, yeah.
Treadmill.
Treadmill. And I lie, because if you tell them your age and your weight, they'll tell you how many calories you're burning. So I lie to that.
That's not a good start.
Because I'm afraid someone's going to look over and see my weight. So I lie on that thing. And when I get off, honestly, if I'm on there for a half hour, I get off and I have these like old people noises that I make. I make more noise getting off. I'm like, oh! I get down. I'm in the gym. I drop a towel. I bent over to pick it up, and I could almost hear people listening. And I was like, I'm not doing push-ups. I'm just bending over to pick my towel up because it's, So I said, so that's the kind of stuff that is true. I go to Weight Watchers. I really do. And every time I go, they just give me material. My kids, every time they annoy me, it's a bit. And so when I'm out, that's what I do. So I'm not going to be necessarily a big hit in the Lower East Side, but if I'm down there, I do kind of more free, crazy stuff. But when I'm on the road, I just talk about what's funny to me. And I come from a very large Irish Catholic family, so I have always been, if you're not funny, my parents wouldn't pay attention to us. Honestly, we had to be very entertaining. Otherwise, they were like, who are you? What?
Wow. It was like American Idol in your house.
It was always like American Idol. It was like, Daddy likes me best, but not if I cry. I have to be a little clowny. And that's how it was. So that's where.
My secret was to wait till they got good and drunk.
Well, that's what we call every night.
That's an Italian family. So you got that tight 10 dress, huh?
Yeah. That's tight 10 dress, please.
Nancy Witter, and we'll be seeing you where? Let's give a nice little plug here.
Well, I'm trying to think of where I'm going to be. I don't have my stuff in front of me. I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach next week, but that's a corporate thing. And then I'll be upstate New York at some ski resort. I'll be in Sugarloaf, Maine, at the Shipyard Brewery, Brouhaha they have there, with my friend Karen Morgan.
Supposed to go there to ski.
February 9th. I go there not to ski, but they do have beer, so fine with me. That's how they pay me.
Well, we're going to have you back when we have that gay hour.
Wonderful.
We're going to do that. We've done that before.
Yeah.
It was cabaret.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But very funny.
So we're going to bring all those guys back here, and you're
Wonderful.
invited to that party because you're a funny lady.
Oh,
Thank you
you're
for
very
being here. And Leighann, too. You too?
I would love to.
We'll be right back. Joey Reynolds Show. We got the Hillbilly Band that's coming out here pretty soon.
They look great, don't they?
Oh, they are fantastic.
You know, these guys are a little different.
I know. Oh, I know.
Oh, they look so cool.
I took square dancing in high school. I'm all about different.
This is a different kind of a hillbilly band. We'll be taking a little break here. The Ebony Hillbilly Band. You know what ebony is?
Yes, the opposite of ivory.
No. Too much Paul McCartney in your jeans.
A black magazine that, no? Okay.
We'll show you. Be right back.
Steve, I can't get the files on the Sanders case. The printers are down again.
Steve, the wireless network and all the servers are completely down on the 4th floor.
That's it. Denise, I'm done with that company. Call ASAP NetSauce. Also, tell them we need an on-site tech for some installs we got going on next week.
Dad, The printer isn't working again, and I had to hand in this report tomorrow morning.
And the internet's down again.
And we're out of toner, too.
I know just who to call.
Let ASAP NetSource be your only source for your office and home.
Picture wonderful guests, terrific music, and comics that are really funny, and a host that's okay. That's me, Joey Reynolds, on NBC's New York Nonstop, and what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
When New York celebrities have something to say, they head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Kat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. Yes. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked? Tell me something good.
The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a 4-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm my grandpa. Yeah, I'm a grandma.
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is really great. I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
From my mothers and my brothers and my sisters who are watching the show and you can't sleep, we're going to wake you up. We got from the hills of Manhattan. We have the Ebony Hillbillies, and here they are. They're wonderful.
How you doing, sweetie?
Wonderful.
Good.
Got Gloria Thomas Gassaway here. She's wonderful. Also, she makes her own jewelry. And we got the only washboard I care about at this age should be on my stomach. So let a smile be your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. That's all.
Well, Joey, this is for you, sweetheart. They move, I ain't lying. Heavy men excite me. You know they move me, I ain't lying. I'll jump over 100 skinny men to get to a fat man every time. I want a big fat daddy. Give me a big fat daddy. I want a big fat daddy. Child, give me a big fat daddy. I want a big fat daddy with me shaking on his bone. Girls, if you don't have a fat man, you making a mistake. A big fat man is like a porterhouse steak. I want a big fat daddy. Child, give me a big fat daddy. I want a big fat daddy with me shaking on his bone. I love to sing my song with a fat man looking on. If I sing good enough, you know he might take me home. I want a big fat daddy. Give me a big fat daddy. I want a big fat daddy with a whole lot of meat shaking on his bone. Making love to a fat man sure is a treat. I'm here to tell you that meat holes. I want a big fat daddy. Child, give me a big fat daddy. I want me a big fat daddy with me shaking on his bone. You know why I want that fat daddy? 'Cause I'm a big fat mama. Yes, I'm a big fat mama.
There are 13,000 cabs in New York City, but there's only one that pays you. Climb into the cash cab and I will quiz you all the way to your destination. As the meter clicks, the questions get harder and the stakes get higher. If you get stumped, you can shout out for help on the phone or off the street. But be careful, my friend, because in this rig, it's 3 strikes and you're out. So what do you say? You in?
We got the moldings of the classic. I think the floor is a classic. I'm really looking forward to keeping this floor. I'm very excited that we're not going to need carpet here.
Always remember, if you got something underneath your carpet, take a good look at it. Maybe something worthwhile, and this one is.
So Anthony, what do we got going on here?
Right now I have a tone generator hooked up to this particular wire here so that we can locate it inside the wall.
All right, so that enables us to find the wire without actually having to poke a lot of holes.
Well, right now the sound is getting a little bit more stronger because we're close to the wire. So that means that the wire is in this proximity.
At least we know where to cut the holes. That's knowing is half the battle, right?
Right.
All right, so let's make some holes. Let's get this wall up. Boris, we got the drywall up. As you can see, we got a lot of cracks and seams. Do we use the same compound plaster mix that we used on these cracks on our seams along our door?
No, you don't do that. You use usually caulking or silicone with caulking, because if you use plaster on between wood and sheetrock, what happens is it's going to separate. It doesn't bond together.
So you want your silicone caulking right in here,
yes.
And then for these cracks, from drywall to drywall,
you use plaster,
that's where you use your plaster compound mix. My man Jeff from Floorcraft has arrived. How you doing?
Good, George. How are you?
For our homeowners out there who have old houses and are deciding to do some sort of renovation, they pull up the carpet, they find wood floors underneath. How do they know if they have themselves a gem or if they just have themselves some ratty old wood?
Well, the best thing to do is you call in someone with experience after you've exposed the floor, and you ask them to come over. Usually estimates don't cost anything. And usually any professional knows if it's restorable. In most cases it is. As bad as it may look, you can usually bring it back to a beautiful, original look.
Well, we built that new bedroom because a baby's on the way, so we got ourselves some baby furniture. All right, let's go get Megan and Anthony. All right, are you guys ready to see your no longer 1 bedroom, 2 living room, but instead 2 bedroom, 1 living room apartment?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, heads down, up the stairs. Take it all in.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my God. Awesome.
I don't even know what to say. It doesn't even look like the same place.
Completely different. Awesome.
Oh.
I can't believe the floors.
Look at the floors.
These were here?
Oh.
Wow.
And I think you're gonna need
cool.
to see this.
So cool.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my
So
God.
amazing.
Beautiful.
So amazing.
Wow, like I can't believe they were able to do it. Like everything we thought we were gonna try to attempt, you guys were able to do.
Never pictured anything like this, and it was beyond our imaginations, beyond our hopes, and what we wanted is exactly, you know, what you guys did.
It doesn't feel like the same place. It's a completely different place. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to get used to living here.
And I can't believe we're sitting right now in the baby's room, and
It's your bedroom.
Yeah.
Yep. You're listening right now?
Do you want to call your kid Anthony, Jerry, George, Boris, Steven? And that works for girls too. I'm just gonna tell you.